Welcome everybody to the AME television show. I'm your host Jason Dowd, and I've got a great show in store for you guys this week. We have a couple of great guests that we're going to be talking to. Our first guest is actually one of our homegrown guests. Sometimes I love it when you find some of the best talents right in your own backyard. Well, this girl here, I actually saw when I went to a Tampa Bay Rays game, which is the Major League Baseball if you don't know sports too much. On the big screen over there was Kayla, and she was actually interviewing some of the top rookies and some of the top players of the Tampa Bay Rays. Pretty impressive. Come to find out, she's only 18 years old too. So I looked her up on Twitter, found her, and we were able to connect, only to find out she lived just right down the street from me. So we're going to go talk to Kayla and find out what she's been up to, some of the movies that she's been working on, and how she got her spot on Rays Rookies. So let's go to Odessa, Florida, talk to Kayla Huth, and we'll be right back after this. All right, everybody. I'm here with Kayla Huth, and she is basically a television star and movie star, and you've probably seen her if you came to the Tampa Bay Rays. She is part of the Rays Rookies, and I'm sure that's also on TV as well. So welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing really good. Thanks for having me.
So when did you start to get into the idea in your head that you wanted to be an actress?
The idea in my head started when I was really little and I'd put on shows in front of my stuffed animals. But for an actual idea, as in like, I want to do this for real, started a little over a year and a half ago. And I started with my brother, Tyler, and we started with classes called Gray Studios. And we fell in love with it from the first class. And it was really cool. So that's kind of where it started for us.
Well, I'm glad to know I'm not the only one that put on shows in front of my stuffed animals, because I had a lot of them. I had a lot of them, and I had a big crowd, so it was good. You know. But I never got into the acting as much, and that's mainly because of the fact I think that I just can't remember lines as good as I'd like to. Mm. How did you manage to do that? What is the key to memorizing a script?
The key. It's different for everybody. I feel like there's a lot of different techniques and skills that I use depending on how long it is or what the character is. It's cool to have a brother who's also in the industry because we both learn each other's scripts. And so throughout the day, if I'm like doing dishes, he'll be like, hey, what's your favorite color? And that's a line in the script, and I'll have to just jump into character. So it's cool to just do that, throughout your normal day. Looking at yourself in the mirror is always good. And writing my lines, I do that a lot. So,
how do you get into character, and what has been the most challenging part of being a character for you?
Getting into character, a lot of people think acting is acting, but acting is really finding the truth in whatever you're playing. And so it's not where you see somebody acting and you're like, oh, that's fake. Like you look at it and you're like, wow, they really look like they are that person. For me, the most challenging role that I've played was in a music video, and I had to play a girl that was abused and going through some hard things in her life. And that was hard for me to get into, but being able to represent girls that have gone through that struck my heart, and I was able to bring out the truth in that for sure. And just any other character, it's really about creating a backstory for the character and really becoming that person.
You really got to believe it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, and that's one of the things that I've always liked about acting, because you can be anybody. So if you could have the ultimate role for yourself, what would that be? Who would that be? Would that be a superhero? Would that be a zombie? What would that be for you?
Definitely not a zombie. Those things, I don't know how people do that. That's so cool. But a dream role for me, it's a tough question. It would definitely be a optimistic girl. I think one that would end up saving the day. I don't know about a superhero per se, but I would love to play a superhero, but just your typical next door kind of girl, just somebody who people look up to, somebody's friend, somebody that people can relate to and love.
I get that. I totally get that. For me, I'd want to be a zombie.
Oh.
I want to be the zombie. I want to have. I want
yeah.
my skin falling off. But I love the effects that you can do with that. The
It's
makeup
so cool.
and the costumes. That's probably one of the coolest parts about being in any type of entertainment industry for me.
Yeah.
How did you get into Rays Rookies?
Raised rookies. It was actually last October that I started filming for it. So last summer I auditioned, and it's funny because me and my brother both auditioned for it. And when we got the audition, it just said a baseball host, and we were like, oh, let's just see what happens. We didn't know it was for the Tampa Bay Rays. And so I think it was 3 or 4 weeks after the audition, they called us and they're like, hey, remember that Tampa Bay Rays audition you did? And I'm like, I don't think so. And they're like, oh, it came in as baseball host. And I was like, yeah. They're like, you booked it. And I'm like, no way. And it was crazy. And it all happened so fast. And it's been nothing but fun and just awesomeness. I absolutely love it.
Are you going to be doing it again next year after the season's over?
I plan on it. We can't let out any secrets, but we have been shooting a lot, and there's a lot more to come, so go check it out.
Where can people see that show? Is it just at the stadium itself, or can you see it on television?
It's cool to see it at the stadium. So, like, on Sundays for home games, they play it before, but it's on every Sunday at 11 on Fox Sun Sports.
Now, tell me about this new movie you were just in. I guess it's coming out here soon, but we just don't know how it's going to be out there. But tell us a little bit about the movie.
So this past summer, me and my brother were in Savannah, Georgia, and Columbia, South Carolina. And we were there for 6 or 7 weeks, and we were shooting our first feature film. So it was super, super exciting. The movie's called In Search of Liberty, and you can look for it wherever it may come out. And it was a lot of fun to film, and especially with my brother. We had a lot of awesome memories that we made. My mom was up there with me, and so just family bonding. It was really cool. We were all in a little hotel room, so we definitely learned more about each other, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun and met a lot of cool people, and it was a lot of fun.
Was it a haunted hotel? Because Savannah is known for being haunted. I love Savannah.
Not a haunted hotel, we think. I mean, there were some weird noises, but yeah, Savannah was so beautiful. I loved it.
That's one place I wanted to go all the time. And I want to go at Halloween time just because I think, I've heard that there's so many crazy things out there. I want to experience it myself.
Yeah. You could be a zombie there.
There you go. I actually might run into a real one,
A real one.
So as a young child in the industry, going into your college years and stuff, you've obviously run into some trials and tribulations and some successes. What has been your biggest struggle to get in? And what has been your best success? And then on top of it, what would you give advice to other people trying to get into the industry?
I'm going to start with the positives of it. Definitely being able to find a new passion is something that is so cool. And it really just makes your heart beat faster. And I smile more. And it's just something that I didn't know I had. And it's something that I am growing in and loving every time I do something that has something to do with acting. So that's been the positive of it. The negatives would have to just be yourself, because there's nothing you can really do if you don't book something or if something goes wrong, but it's like you're always trying to make yourself better. So it's definitely an industry where you're always pushing yourself to be better than yourself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can be stressful sometimes, and I can get hard on myself once in a while, but once you get that booked, or once you get that, oh, you're good, like that fills you up, and it makes you know that what you're doing affects people, and that's really cool. What was the other question? What
advice would you give to somebody trying to get into the industry at a young age?
At a young age, it's super cool at a young age, because you are figuring out who you are and what you want to do. Acting is a lot of fun, and I encourage anybody who wants to be in acting to start now, because I started when I was 16 and I'm 18 now, and it's definitely really cool for me because I am still young and I am still growing. And I think if you have a passion or have that little urge in your heart that, oh, I want to be in acting, but I don't know, just do it, because the worst that people could say is no, and then that's when you figure out, okay, this isn't for me, I'll try this. So just do it. Like Nike says. Nike, that was not a sponsor, but just do it.
Now, one of the other things I do know that you do is sing. Mm-hmm. Now, how did you get into that, and where do you perform at?
Singing started with my stuffed animal shows back in the day, but I got into it seriously at my church, and I started with a youth group worship team. I was in 8th grade, and it kind of just started from there. I started songwriting and playing guitar and piano, and it's just been really cool. I love writing and singing and playing.
Do you have anything recorded or an album coming out or anything that you're doing that, or is it just more on the fun basis?
Right now, it's more on the fun basis. I would love it if it took off in that direction, but it's been more of like me in my room playing guitar. So, I mean, I'm sure that I'll do something cool with it someday, but not in the process right now.
Well, we're almost done with the interview because we're running out of time, but how can people find you, social media, websites, anything that they can find out, and also find out about some of the other stuff you have been on?
If you go to any Rays games, I'll probably be there. And on all social media, I am Kayla, Kayla, Huth, Huth. And that's where you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat and all that fun stuff. So, and I love connecting with people. So comment and like and everything. And it's really cool to see that feedback.
Well, Kayla, thank you for coming on. Thank you for showing us your experiences, and we look forward to seeing what you have coming out in the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Wake up and smile, 'cause the sun's shining bright, pouring over your life. Everything will be alright. Tell all your friends this is how fun begins. Everybody join hands and we'll kick off the dancing. No time for tears, worries don't belong here. Like the sun up above, we are bursting with love. Look up, young lovers, hey, everybody, it's the best day ever. Everything's okay, okay. Look up, young lovers, oh, everybody, it's now, oh, never. Can you come out and play, come out and play. Chase all the clouds away, the sun is out, hooray. Look up, young lovers, oh, everybody, it's now, oh, never. Can you come out and play, come out and play. Chase all the clouds away, the sun is out, hooray.
If any other industry tried to do something like this, they'd go to jail.
Stuart Venner helps people out of timeshare. He warns we're pawns.
Yes, we are.
Venner says timeshares lose so much value they're nearly worthless when buyers opt to sell.
If you can get anything, it's really a miracle.
When there aren't any nibbles, Venner's tried giving deeds back to developers, but he says they refuse.
They're telling people it's worth $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, and I offer it to them for nothing, and they don't want it back.
Finance guru Dave Ramsey goes farther, labeling timeshares one of the biggest scams to.
Are you stuck with a timeshare? Did you attend the presentation and were seduced and enticed into buying that great vacation and investment? Now you're in the terrible position of trying to figure out a way to get out of that mess. You're not alone. For over 15 years, BuyYourTimeshare.com has been helping people like yourself get out of timeshare ownership. The fact is, there is no resale market. Unscrupulous telemarketers call you and say they have buyers waiting, and the next thing that happens is you give them hundreds of dollars for an ad, and you'll never hear from them again. Another fact is that an identical timeshare to yours is being offered on eBay for $1, and no one is buying it. If you want out of your timeshare, I urge you to go to buyyourtimeshare.com or call them at 877-94-HELP-ME. That number again is 877-94-HELP-ME. Buyyourtimeshare.com. That's buyyourtimeshare.com. 877-94-HELP-ME. 877-94-HELP.
All right, guys, we are back, and I have a review that we're going to be doing right now. Everybody knows that I love Walt Disney. I love his imagination and his ability to say that nothing is impossible, and no matter what he decided to do, he could put it to life. He came up and became an animator during one of the hardest times in American history. Yet he managed to take a company that almost went bankrupt, actually it did go bankrupt a couple times, and turned it into the empire that we know now, with resorts all the way across the United States and across the world, some of the top amusement parks, and so much more. And his cartoons are still loved to today. So when I was at Walt Disney World, I picked up a book called Walt Disney, and it was all about his life. And I'm going to go review that for you really quick. So we'll come back from that, and we're going to have another commercial break, but we got one more interview, so don't go anywhere.
In a world where all opinions matter, one opinion matters more, and that's his. Join Jason Dowd as he reviews movies, books, music, and anything someone wants his opinion on in this edition of Man Reviews Stuff. Now here is Jason Dowd.
Hey everybody, I have a book I want to bring to you guys. I kind of ran across it when I was at Disney World. No surprise there, because you know I'm there all the time. And this one is called An American Original, Walt Disney. It is his actual biography about his entire life and how he started. And what's really amazing about him was that he had so much adversity all the way through his entire life. His parents didn't believe he was going to be a cartoonist. He had the dreams of being a cartoonist. Money stood in his way. He almost went bankrupt, and yet he was able to salvage it through the smart thinking and thinking outside the box. For instance, did you know that Walt Disney World became a reality because of the World's Fair? And some of the rides that you know, like It's a Small World and the American Hall of Presidents, was funded by outside companies, and that's how they started Walt Disney World. Have you ever seen the ABC Family, where they used to bring on all kinds of different Davy Crockett's and everything? That helped fund Walt Disney World. It's amazing what he went through. I highly suggest, if you want to see how a master worked it through the Depression and all these other things that were so adverse for him, this is the book you want to read. And I'll tell you what, it will show you that no matter what happens, you can overcome anything. 5 stars on this, guys. There's pictures inside of it. Easy reading. Highly recommend it. All right, that's all we got for this week.
Limo Bob builds, sells, and rents the world's finest, longest, and most exotic limousines in the world. We provide every imaginable vehicle, from a 4-passenger town car to a 10-passenger Bentley Rolls and a Hummer for $20. We even have a one-of-a-kind 727 jet limo. And we offer a complete consulting package where Limo Bob comes to your location and shares 3 decades of experience in 3 days with you. Call 708-945-LIMO and visit limobob.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I have one more place that we're going to take you to before we go, and this is called Dade City Wild Things. This place I found on Facebook, and it was a really cool adventure for me because I love animals, so getting to have interactions with animals and seeing animals of all different kinds is just an experience for me. But this place was completely different because normally when you go to a zoo, you just walk around, see all these different animals in cages, but this place you get to not only do that, but interact with them. Depends on the package that you buy. You can experience lemurs, you can experience lions, tigers, bison, alligators. You can swim at some of these. Now, they're not full-grown ones that you're going to be interacting with. It's babies. But it's still an experience of a lifetime, honestly, to be able to do. Now, Randy, who we're going to be interviewing, is going to tell you about the Dade City Wild Things, how it established and how they do community outreach and use what they have for educating the people and children all around us. Also, preservation of these animals, so they can be here for many, many generations to come to enjoy. But then we're going to take you up close and personal with Lily the lion. This is a fun experience. I got to actually touch a baby lion, and I got to learn a little bit about lions too. So we're going to take you there. You're going to see some of the animals that we walked up and encountered too, and hopefully you'll have a lot of fun. And if you come to Dade City, check out Dade City Wild Things. So let's go there now, check it out, and we'll be right back after that. All right, everybody, we are here at the Dade City Wild Things, and we're going to be taking a great adventure today with some different animals. And this is Randy. He's the owner of the place. Welcome to the show. How you doing today?
Doing good.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about this ranch. How did you come up with this entire concept?
Basically, here at Dade City's Wild Things, we have close to 100 different species. So we start out doing wildlife rescue and rehab, so we work closely with the state. And then had so many animals that needed a home, we basically started, keeping them as permanent animals, and then decided to open up and share them to the public.
How did some of these animals come here? Did they come here from like zoos that could no longer care for them or anything like that? Or are they just kind of babies like this one is? Or
Yeah, we bring in babies to grandparents. So some are born here, some are adoption, some are when places close down like Silver Springs, Cypress Gardens, which is Legoland now. So about a month and a half ago, I went to Arkansas to pick up a baby buffalo. So we just never know where we're going to end up picking up an animal.
Now, what happens? Are they going to be permanent residents here, or are they going to eventually find another home, or is it just a rehab?
Depending on the situation, but most of the animals do stay here. Any rehab animals, those are native animals, so it could be anything from a cougar or bobcat to a raccoon. And if they heal, they're able to be released, and we'll release them back into the wild.
And what are some of the most exotic animals that you do have here?
Depends on what you think exotic is. We have big cats, we have reptiles, snakes, alligators, we have some fruit bats, basically a little bit of everything. And we actually have the infamous mystery monkey at Tampa Bay. Yeah. He's actually here on site. He's kind of settled down now. He actually married with 2 kids now, so enjoying the easy life.
So how do you get the name Mystery Monkey?
Basically, mystery is nobody knows where he came from.
Oh,
Just one day he popped up. He was here in Pasco, then decided to check out Tampa. So, nobody really knows. One of the suspicions is he's from the Silver Springs area where those wild monkeys run loose.
Mm-hmm. Kind of tell us a little bit about what you can do here with your family.
Basically, you bring your family out. We have different types of tours you can come out. We have a riding tour. We have a walking tour. You can get 3 foot from a full-grown animal like a tiger, as well as do close-up animal encounters, like with this little guy, Wyatt. This is actually a ring-tailed lemur. I'm sure the little ones know what he is. Mm-hmm. And even for the adventure seekers, we have a swim with the alligator or a baby tiger encounter as well.
And you can also feed some, I'm sure, right?
Yep, we do have feeding encounters. So if you want to feed a monkey, feed a buffalo, even feed a full-grown tiger, we don't throw you in with the tiger, but we give you a long enough stick, you can put some meat on it and actually feed them.
That's pretty intense, because I know that's got to be so invigorating, to be that close to a tiger.
When you're 4 feet away from a 600-pound cat, it's a lot different than if you see him way in the bushes, way down the way. Looks a lot bigger.
Now, I've also heard that you can do, birthday parties and other stuff here. What kind of groups do you take? What's the smallest you'll allow?
Basically, we don't have any age or size limits here. So basically, we've done Girl Scouts, homeschools, field trips up to 200. We do a lot of events with the veterans groups, different things as well. We were just doing a literacy campaign yesterday at a school and with the Zephyros Library a couple weeks before. So we're always out and about doing different things.
So you do a lot of outreach too and stuff to educate the community and stuff.
Exactly. We are a nonprofit conservation source, so we kind of tell the people, if we live with this planet, we need to try to live with the animals and the habitats they're on. Because a lot of the animals, like the tigers, which are beautiful, majestic creatures, but they're critically endangered. Mm-hmm. You hear there's more in captivity, reason being they're on the verge of being extinct. There's only about 3,000. 100 years ago, there was 100,000 tigers. Wow. So that's how fast a species can disappear.
What are some of the things that people can do to help preserve these animals from becoming extinct?
One of the biggest things is basically take care of the environment. Reuse, recycle, you hear that all the time, as well as look at the ingredients you're buying. Right now, this global economy, things are coming from third world countries where they just level the area, cut down the rainforest and things like that. Palm oil, anybody that has palm oil, you need to look at it very carefully, because it's not here in the U.S. where we have a great agriculture system where we keep replanting. There, they're actually just cutting down palms, cutting down forests, and the problem is, then the animals have nowhere to live, and then they're killing the animals in the process with the deforestation as well.
And what are the things that you do with different types of schools and stuff around the community and possibly around the country?
Basically, I do travel all over. basically, like the schools, we can have them come out. We have educational talks, things like that, as well as different things like they come and take a tour, meet Jeffers, our mascot, learn about the different animals. We also have like the summer camps. We also go to schools. So we kind of do a lot of things to show them the different animals as well. And basically by getting to see them, get them excited about it, then they really want to care about these animals and save them.
Absolutely. So most importantly, how can people find this place? How can they buy tickets? And would you suggest they go ahead and maybe do a reservation in advance, or can you walk up to the door too?
Either way, we take reservations and walk-ins. So we are open year-round, 6 days a week. Only day we're closed Monday, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Other than that, we're here. So you want to check us out at DadeCitiesWildThings.com. We have a very active Facebook. You can go to our Facebook page. It's just /DC Wild Things. And all their new stuff that we have, it goes right on Facebook. So that's the best way to find out about new animals we get, new encounters, new events, things like that. And basically we're always trying to have new stuff. So every time you come, there's something new to do.
All right, guys, we're going to take you on a quick tour of the place. We're also going to learn about some of these amazing animals. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're here with Lily the lion, and we're going to learn a little bit about lions with you guys today. And this is something you'll be able to do when you come here and experience them firsthand. So kind of tell us a little bit about Lily. How old is she?
All right, this is our baby lion. She's only about 2 months old right now, just a itty bitty fur ball. Good girl. She is.
And what kind of lion is she?
She's an African lion. She is a little kind of playful at this stage, kind of like a puppy, likes to get into everything. So she kind of likes to run around, get into stuff, go tear up her toys and stuff. So, hey baby.
So as a baby lion out in the wild, how would they survive?
Basically, they survive. See, she's found her toy.
Yes.
They survive because they live in a pride. So basically, you have mainly one, maybe two males, one dominant that controls it, but it's mostly females. And they kind of look over the babies, and they have a pretty good little life together.
Now, actually, I know everybody's probably thinking that males are the ones that hunt, but actually the males don't hunt, do they?
No, basically the females are the hunters. Only time males would hunt is if they're kicked out of the pride. So as they get older, the big guy kicks them out, then they have to start going pride of males till they join another one. So basically the females do hunt, and they hunt as a team. So they will actually hunt 4, 5, 6 at a time.
Now I notice with household cats, they sleep a lot. How many hours do they sleep during the day? And does it change from a cub to a full-grown lion?
Basically, your house cat sleeps about 16 hours. Lions actually sleep 20 hours now. So they get a lot of rest. Right now, she's more at an active age, kind of as you see, she's all over the place, want to get into everything. As they get older, they do sleep more. Just like your older cat or dog sleep a lot more, so do lions. So after they get that adolescent stage, then they kind of start just laying down a lot more.
Are they nocturnal? Do they normally hunt at nighttime, daytime? How does their activity period work?
Depending on the situation, depending on their prey items. So a lot of times they like to hunt either early morning or later in the afternoon or evening when it's a little bit cooler, because they do have to run down their food, and running around the middle of the day gets a little on the warm side.
Now here's an interesting question I just thought about. After they kill something and they're ready to eat it, how do they keep other things from coming in and eating with them?
Well, basically, they're the apex of the king predator. So basically, if there's a large pride, nothing's going to try to take it away from you. So a lot of the smaller animals, the vultures, things like that, will wait till they are finished. And even though the females are the hunters, the males will come in and he'll usually be the first one to eat.
And since they're in captivity, obviously they eat differently than they do out here. How many pounds of food will they eat a day or a week? And how do you manage to get enough to keep them full?
Basically, they do eat a lot. They eat anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds a day per animal. So we go through about 9 to 10 40-pound cases a day just with meat here. And they don't eat, here at our place, they don't eat cooked food. It has to be raw, unseasoned. So, hey baby. Hey baby girl. Yes, I know. So basically it has to be raw, uncooked. Yes, I know. You see she's practicing the hunt right now. She's kind of attacking everything. So raw, uncooked, just the same thing you find at a grocery store. And as I mentioned, she's very playful right now. So she kind of thinks of us as other lions. So they like to practice, roll around, just kind of like brother and sister. Sure. You know, tough love.
Do they eat vegetables too, or is it just strictly meat?
Nope, they're a true carnivore, so just strictly meat. Cool. So, and they actually do eat bone and all.
Really?
Yep, the bones clean their teeth, and just like drinking milk, they get a lot of calcium from the bone.
Well, very good. Well, let's go let her have some fun. Thank you for showing us this lion.
Well, thanks for coming out.
And don't forget, guys, you can do that when you come here. They'll tell you all about it. You get to even touch them like I did. Welcome back, everybody. It is time to go, but before I go, I have a little bit of stuff I want to talk to you about. But first of all, I want you to check out our website, www.theamemagazine.com. There you can go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and check out all that we have about art, music, and entertainment, and television, radio, and magazine formats. Now, if you happen to miss any of our past television shows or any of our past guests, don't worry, you can go check it out on our website. But we also have a YouTube channel, so if you are a YouTube subscriber like I am, you can see all of our television shows right there. I would love to get millions and millions of subscribers. So if you are there, go subscribe to us there. You get to see everything every time that we update a new show. But you can also share it with your friends so they will get the experience, and hopefully we'll grow our fan base. Because the more people that see the people that we bring on and the places we go, the more entertainment, music, and artists will benefit from you. And all you have to do is hit subscribe. You don't even have to pay money. How cool is that? Now, also, we are on Facebook, which is facebook.com/the AME Experience. And we have a Twitter account, too, which is at DOWD Studios. That's my last name. Dowd Studios is my personal Twitter. It is my studio Twitter, and it's also the AME Experiences Twitter. So lots of stuff there. Interact with us if you're an independent musician, if you're an artist or whatever. You can find us all on these different platforms, and hopefully we'll be able to get you on, because we want to see your work and we want to get you out into the public. Now, some of the stuff that I've been working on, we're just about ready to finish up the last edits of Lilith Rising. This is a really cool Middle Eastern music video that was produced to tell the story of Lilith. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later, but if you want to see it, or if you want to see some of the history of Lilith, go to my website, imaginationartstudios.com. You can also see it on our Facebook, too. We are putting stuff up to show you what it's about. That's going to be released, and when it's going to be released, I will be putting it right here on the AME television show. So that's going to be really cool, and I hope that you guys will enjoy the work that we all put together. These ladies are just phenomenal dancers. A lot of creativity, probably one of the most unique and most artistic videos I've ever done. So keep checking that out. Probably around October 4th that we're going to be shooting for the release date. Also, I have a lot of masks for the mask collection. Now, you've seen some of them, but you probably may not have seen all of them. So if you are interested in seeing what the masks that we have done and the different stories that we have, it's literally 2 art forms combined into one. You have the masks from the handmade artisan masks from Italy, and you have my artwork combined into one to tell us a different story. Now we have the distressed dancer, we have the steampunk violinist, we have the reaching for the czars, and we have the Pied Piper. Now, we have a lot more coming up. I have the Illusionist coming up in just a little bit, which we are just about ready to shoot. So a lot of cool things going on there. If you want to check it out, you can go to www.imaginationartstudios, and it's right there. Or, if you're in Epcot, you can go check it out at the Venetian Mask Store at the Italian Pavilion. How cool is that? Also, what we have for you is a brand new design for our radio show website. Now, people have been saying they were having a hard time finding things on it. Well, I've decided to streamline that, make it more compatible for the cell phones and the tablets. Also featuring more of our guests that are coming on this week. You can see the guests that we have coming up a lot easier. It's just been released, so you can go check it out now. There's still going to be some tweaks and stuff, so there will be a little construction work, but it will be worth your time. So, guys, that's all I have for you this week. We're going to be doing so much more. Next week we have Tyler Huth, which is Kayla's brother, coming up. We have some more places that we're going to be visiting. We have some dancers coming up. It's going to be sick. So don't go anywhere. Come back next time.
Like, OMG, you were on TV and junk.